I think there will be some very strong companies coming out of China. There's just a lot of super talented, hardworking people in China that are strongly believe in manufacturing, and they won't just be burning the midnight oil; they'll be burning the 3 a.m. oil. So they won't even leave the factory type of thing. Whereas in America, people are trying to avoid going to work at all.
We've got a question on the Cybertruck.
Okay, if the end of that video seemed a little bit awkward, that's because I wanted you to know for sure that we're not cutting that off. That was the end of the comment. Elon Musk thinks American workers are pathetically lazy. And I don't know if he was trying to be funny or trying to be serious. He's a really awkward person. So he just sort of stared at the camera, and the interviewer felt really awkward at what Elon Musk had just said, and then moves on to a question about the Cybertruck and whether it'll be released in 2025 or 2030 or God only knows when. That's it. That's Elon Musk saying Chinese car manufacturers are gonna do a great job because they actually care about work, whereas the American workforce is just really lazy. Now, he doesn't actually believe that. He knows from personal experience that sometimes workers can be quite organized and active. They might, for instance, try to unionize, and he has always been vigorously opposed to that. He's not interested in that. But he does love just casually denigrating American workers. And honestly, look, I think it's worth focusing on this with Elon Musk, because a lot of like regular conservatives have been deluded over the past month or so into thinking that Elon Musk has their interests at heart. No, Elon Musk is an oligarch. That's all he is. He might post a lot more memes than Russian oligarchs, but that's all he is. He doesn't care about you. He has nothing in common with you, and he does not share any of your economic interests. Bear that in mind. That said, he is hardly the only rich, out of touch conservative who's telling American workers that they need to stop being lazy. You can't go like 1 hour on Fox News without seeing, for instance, a video like this.
Go to rescueamerica.com. There's nothing that the president said that's in there. What I've said is, let's get people back to work so they have skin in the game. I mean, think about it. We want people to work in this country. I grew up in a poor family. I lived in public housing, and I know what my mom said, get to work. So think about it. When you have work, you don't have to rely on the federal government for food stamps. You don't have to rely on the federal government for your health care. You don't have to rely on the federal government for anything. You're independent.
That is a big old liar, a big old fraud conducting liar. Plenty of people work and still need food stamps or whatever, insert whatever sort of form of governmental or social support that people need despite working a job or 2 jobs or 3 jobs. What Rick Scott either doesn't know or is pretending not to know is that you can work 40, 60, 80 hours a week and still struggle just to make ends meet, because in America, employers don't give a damn about you. They don't value you or the product of your work, and they will pay you as little as they are legally allowed to. His job, of course, is to make sure that that legal limit is as low as it can possibly be, and that results in tons of people desperately needing that help, either for themselves to make sure that they can afford housing or food or healthcare, or for their kids to actually be able to afford literally any of this. And the insult to injury, the injury is that in America, you can do everything that you're told to do. You can grind it out every single day and never get ahead. In fact, fall behind now thanks to inflation. Never have a hope of being able to own a home. That's for rich people who were born in the 1930s. If you wanted a home, you should have been born earlier. And then on top of that, you will be insulted. You will work and work and work and sweat, and they will call you lazy every step of the way. And you would think, well, how can that possibly continue? How can they spit in our face every single day and still stay in power? They got Fox News, and they've got sophisticated media and PR environments that use culture war tactics to delude people. They pit us against each other. They stimulate various phobias along sexual and religious and racial grounds and all that. That's what they do, and they get us, in fact, to love the people who spit in our face. People like Rick Scott, lots of Republicans love him. Elon Musk is incredibly popular despite thinking that you're a lazy bastard who needs to get off your ass. It's weird how that works out. Meanwhile, by the way, he's being investigated by the SEC for failing to disclose that he was buying Twitter shares when he was supposed to. He filed the form he was supposed to file 10 days after the date when he was supposed to. Now you might think, well, John, now you have Elon Musk derangement syndrome. Who cares if he filed paperwork like 10 days late? Well, he cares because he apparently saved something like $143 million by delaying the filing of that paperwork. He, in choosing to not comply with the law in that one instance, made more than, I don't know, everybody watching the show right now will make over the next 10 years combined. And he's willing to do that. He's willing to break the law despite the fact that he doesn't need that money. $143 million is less for him than 5 cents is for me. But he cares so little about the law that he'll break it anyway, just on lack of principle.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.